YouTube, what's going on? So DDG's new girl is trying to delete her past. This is coming from Hello Yasin Extras. I don't know. Hey man, let's get up into this video.
What's poppin', y'all? DDG's new
Yeah.
ball, girl, piece, rebound, whatever you want to call it, steal, touchdown. She's got quite a past, and
Hey, something that I was having a conversation with my uncle, and I was also talking to my homeboy about it. There's a point in time where when you get to a certain age, bodies and stuff don't matter no more. Like, you're at that age where it's like, you got a pass, I might have a pass, I don't care anymore. It's what you do for me right now. Are you going to be a wife? Are you going to clean? You going to have some morals about yourself and not be a snake, or what? Now, when you in your early 20s, like how I am, bodies do matter. Don't just cuff anybody now. Because there's some girls, I ain't going to lie. You know, they final form is that church girl now. So you're thinking, you know what? She's changed. She gave her life to Jesus. And then you go ahead, get behind her. And now you got all these other dudes laughing, and then you go blow up. And now everybody got every story about your girl. That shit does haunt people. So females, please, keep the legs closed. I don't even make it seem like, and I'm not even going to say that. Just keep the legs closed. Try to work things out with your partners. Don't just be jumping, bouncing between relationships and be like, oh, but it's because I got a new brother. Please. Understand that your purity matters, and having as little mileage as possible is a flex. That is the real sexy, classy woman right there. All that other pirate, Don Julio, all this and that, hey man, that shit is for the birds. But anyways.
one of the funniest questions I heard came from this interview clip between her and Speedy Mormon from Complex Magazine. I can't believe I'm saying Complex Magazine. That's how far back we go. Complex Media, the magazine, stopped many years ago. So I'm going to play you guys that clip first, and I want you to pay attention and see if you catch it.
What has been like the most lucrative for you thus far? Would you say it's like music? Would it be like OnlyFans? Would it be streaming now?
I think OnlyFans was the most lucrative, but
Is it
I
really?
stopped.
Oh, you off it
Yeah, I
now?
stopped OnlyFans probably like the beginning of this year.
Why? If it was lucrative, you should have kept running it up.
It definitely was lucrative, but I felt like I just didn't like going into these bigger meetings, and like once they hear the words OnlyFans, they kind of just turn the cheek, or like they have a certain perspective about you. Even though my OnlyFans content was very tasteful, it was very artsy, I did it magazine style mostly, like I was very into make.
India, I'm gonna be honest with you. You could have been on there selling feet pics, baby. That's still disgusting. Like, did you guys hear about that nurse? Like, she was a actual nurse and everything, and they found out at the hospital that she did OnlyFans. They fired her. It's serious. It don't matter if you was doing elbow pictures, bro. It don't matter if you was just playing with some macaroni and just like, ooh, Jason, thanks for donating money. Please. Certain things, it ruins you. Even like these people, even for men. If there's a male adult industry guy who's in there and he's just clapping cheeks and that, and then he goes try to get a real job or like a career job, they gonna find that, and they're not hiring him. Hell nah. But anyways.
Can it look art rather than raunchy? So it was like, it benefited me very well, but at the same time, I just am in a different phase in my life. I'm getting older. I have nephews and nieces. I really give a fuck about how they feel about me and what they see about me.
Yeah, you want to be a role
model. And
model.
it just kind of like, organically, this was like, this doesn't feel right.
For sure.
Yeah.
But it takes a very like conscious and mature decision to like walk away from something that was making you the most bread.
Trust me. Trust me, I know. It wasn't that difficult because I have so much faith in God, and I know like.
That's another beautiful statement by her. And that's an amazing statement by the host there, too. I'm going to be so honest, and I'm going to stop pausing for a while, guys. When you really mature in life, that's when you realize all that clubbing, partying shit is fun. Don't get me wrong, it's cool. But that's not your life. All this showing ass for the camera and popping out titties, going out with outfits where you're showing all this. And she's not showing that much cleavage here. It's probably worse on the OnlyFans and stuff like that, but still, like, you gotta dress a certain way, you gotta move a certain way, you gotta just stop. Even for myself, I had that awakening at a really young age, like coming out of high school, and that's why I don't have all these crazy ass stories that some people expect me to just have. Cause well, you a dude, and you just be, nah, bro. Like I really said at a point in time, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna be like the rest of the world, get the tats and be out here sharking on a daily basis, really just wasting time and just going with the flow? Or are you gonna make something for yourself early and young? And that's the mindset that you gotta do. Because you got your whole life to do all that other shit. Anyways. And likewise, what she said with her siblings. Bro, I got cousins that are young coming up. I would like for them to see me and be like, man, cousin, such and such is... That's dope. That's cool. Like, oh, wow. Like, I look up to my cousin. And likewise with my little sister, I look up to my big bro. You don't want to be doing no shit and now they embarrassed. Ain't that your cousin? Ain't that...
He probably didn't want me to be doing that, and now that I'm not doing that, so I'm gonna get something better, which streaming obviously is like, but yeah, it was bittersweet, but it's more so sweet because now I kind of control my own narrative and people don't have to do like weird shit when it comes to OnlyFans.
For sure.
Yeah.
Did you catch that? There were two things. Number one is, was it the music? I was like, hold on, what? Now, I remember India Love when she first blew up, and she was like one of these like fit T girls back in like 2014, 15, and then I think it was
it
was Game that was with her. She was like
know her.
18, 19 at the time. The Game, the rapper, and then
Okay.
Ian Connor got another girl called India Marie, I think it was, who had like a bunch of tattoos, and he blew that girl up, and I confuse those two all the time. But Speedy is such a polite guy that he asked her about music. He's like, was it the music? Brother, I had to look up the monthly listeners of India Love. I would like you guys to also just guess how much monthly listeners Ruby Rose has, right? Because Ruby Rose is the it girl right now. You could say that. Like, she's not as clouded because she's not doing the whole streaming thing, but she's popping. She's was pretty. A rapper. She was a XXL freshman, if you didn't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I knew that much. She made a post on Instagram talking about some she don't like have to sell no kitty cat to go get a bag. And it's like more proof that women just get up on the internet and just say anything. Like, baby girl, you do content. Chill out. Come on.
Effect for you. She's got 238,000 monthly listeners. She had one big song, like Big Mouth, that did like 20-something million streams. Guess how much India Love has? Keep in mind, Speedy asked her, like, was it the music that was the most profitable? That's the biggest meme I've ever heard. Anybody that's a big figure in music, the music is the least profitable thing for the most part. Unless you're Russ, then it's the most profitable. Or 21 Savage. India Love, drumroll please, has 1,500 monthly listeners. Yes, you heard that correctly. 1,577 to be exact. We're not going to shortchange her on that. She's got a couple of songs from way back. They tried to make her an artist. It failed miserably. They were trying to drop music for her in 2018. Keep in mind, this was the era where they thought they could make anybody an artist. This is when the era when Bad Baby blew up, which just goes to show you can make fun of people as much as you want and call Bad Baby trash, who she absolutely watched that girl Alabama Barker this year. We don't even know what happened to her. But you could call her trash, but they tried to make India Love blow up, and that did not work at all. 1,500 monthly listeners. So he continues on. He's like, why didn't you keep doing? And then she admits with the truth, saying OF was the most profitable thing. He's like, why didn't you keep doing that? Like, are we encouraging that? Come on now. But anyway, she's like,
you gotta ask questions.
I was trying to do it artsy, and this is every single person or girl that does OF. They all try to make it seem like they're not doing OF as bad as everybody else. So they're like, I'm just posting what I would post on IG. Like, that's what Ruby Rose says. Or her, she's like, but I was doing it tastefully. So she wasn't just posting what she was posting on IG. I don't think there are any fully nude photos of Bad Baby or Ruby Rose. I think they were just posting what they would post on IG. Maybe like even closer to the edge of what would get banned on IG. India Westbrook, India Marie, I think she was bare on there. I think she was bare before she even got on OF. So that's why she's like, no, I was doing like kind of artsy. What do you mean artsy? She's just saying I wasn't on the level of those other hoes. Because there's levels to this, right? Like, you've got, NBA first Bonnie team, Blue. NBA all defense, NBA MVP, finals MVP, right? You've got all-stars, you've got rookies, all of that's a rookie of the year. So she's saying like, yo, I'm not balling on LeBron's level. You know, I was barely in the G League. Well, actually, no, she was in the league. Ruby Rose, she's like in the G League. She's like, I'm not fully going in there yet. But you're all professionals. That's the thing. That's what everybody just looks at you. Oh, you do OF. And this is what she talked about. Oh, she quit OF. This is the thing. You don't quit OF. It's like you don't quit escorting. You don't quit doing a bunch of other things. Like, for example, you don't quit being a cuck. Like if somebody, like there are a bunch of social media personalities now that have sprung up in the past 10 years that have all admitted to getting cucked and agreeing to it, not just like their girl cheats on them or something. So for these people, you don't get to say, oh, nah, like I used to be that, I'm not that anymore. No. This is like paperwork. You're like, for example, you're a felon. You're a felon for life. Unless your record gets expunged, you know, all these other things, technicalities. Like, come on. Well, actually, Poindexter, listen, you guys get my point. It's in that same way. I would say like that's kind of the example for a man. No, y'all are cucks for life. Because if you ever had the mind frame to do something like that, it's so far beyond anyone else. So you're still OF. You're an OF forever. But I think she's talking about opportunities. And I do like that I do like her candor here. And she's saying like, hey, look, this has been holding me back. It's got a stigma. And I'm willing to sacrifice that income to pursue this entertainment thing. And I respect this, what India Love is doing here, more than I respect some thought that, like, for example, one of those chicks that's like, oh, I'm quitting OF because now I'm a Christian, or now I'm a Muslim, or now...
Yeah. Like how bro is saying, that's like the final phase of those women. Like they say that, hey, I came to my senses in Christ, or Allah came and said something to her, or whatever, or now she's following Buddhism or something, and then it lasts for maybe a year, probably a little less, and then she's right back doing the antics, you know, and things of that nature. Nah, man, no. Y'all gotta chill with that kind of stuff. Y'all gotta stop. But anyways.
Found God. At least she's not grifting God. That's the thing. At least right here she's saying like, yeah, I quit that because I want to pursue entertainment and I want to be taken seriously. At least you're saying like you still want the attention. Because this is another thing, like India Love was getting so much money back then. Like it was disgusting. She's got
I forget what that
they were
thing,
handing
that
out.
tattoo
Because you got to
is.
think, when she was an IG girl,
the
way a market works, there weren't many of her back then. So they had to pay sky-high prices for her. Now there are so many, so the price goes down for everybody. Unless you're like the top dog. But even then, I don't think they're paying as much as they used to pay because there are so many other options. And the conversions are different. Like, people are more accustomed to things now versus like back then. A lot's changed, but I'm not going to turn this into a whole freaking e-commerce lesson. Oh, man, I pay attention to too many things. But a certain individual wasn't too happy with this, who decided to call her out, this guy McQueen, who has collabed with DDG in the past.
A certain perspective about you. Even though my OnlyFans content was very tasteful, it was very artsy, I did it
There goes McQueen, yeah.
I had to replay to make sure I heard that right. Did she just say, even though my content was very tasteful on OnlyFans?
She did.
That's like saying I make healthy food at Burger King, or I...
Now, McQueen, I haven't been like listening to McQueen outside of some of his heartbreak interviews on some of these dating podcasts and stuff like that. And I'm not going to say heartbreak. He's telling men how it really is, especially down here in Miami, Florida. And I just remember him and Flight and some other guys having a bit of beef. And so to see McQueen now, hey, man, big ups to McQueen. But he's not lying. Now, I'm not going to dive deep into India Love's past. I don't know her. And I did not even know that she had all that stuff going on from 2014 to 2015. So me, like I said, I don't know a lot of these people that we be reacting to. So it'll fly right past, right over my head. But obviously, yeah, certain things don't leave you. Like, y'all remember Sneeko, when Sneeko came back and he was having that beef with Moist Critical? Yeah, that shit get dangerous, bro.
I make healthy food, even though I'm making healthy food at McDonald's. What? What are we talking? What? That don't even make sense.
Yeah, I was making the salads. I was making the salads at McDonald's, bro.
I don't care how tasteful you think it was. You want OnlyFans popping that? What are we talking about?
They got the soundboard. I need a soundboard.
Even though if you're not, I get it, okay? Because I think what she's trying to say is that, you know, she wasn't nobody. She probably wasn't spinning on no dildos or nothing like that.
Yeah, no,
she
but
probably
that's
wasn't getting, you know,
not, yeah, your body was still exposed.
pile drive by BBCs and all types of crazy.
Yeah, nah,
maybe that's
body
what
was
she
still
means.
exposed.
All right. And she probably was just like posted up with the, you know what I'm saying, probably had the nails done and the tattoos and the eccentric angles to make it look really artsy, you know? All right. Maybe had some money sprayed on her thigh, you know, and just a snapshot picture of that, you know, maybe with a nice backdrop. That's what she's talking about, chat, you know. Maybe that figure, you know how they get the side profile of the figure, all right?
But just fell out
And
your
the
headphones.
rump just going, you know what I'm saying? And then she kind of just doing one of these.
All right, McCoy.
However, you're still naked. All right? You selling, you're selling,
Yeah, you're selling sex.
you're selling,
appeal.
all right?
You're
I
selling
know
your
what I'm
sex
talking
appeal.
about because I've dealt with these artsy before. I see the lies and the delusion they tell themselves. Yeah, I take artsy content. Okay? Yeah, I do it very tasteful, all right? All these are the same. Once you see certain archetypes, so you see it all. You've seen it all right?
I think this guy's got a good point. We tend to think we're a lot more special than we really are, but we fall into certain buckets. Except for me, of course. I'm the most special person that there is in the world, and that's
Yeah,
the thought
Cap.
that every single one of us
Yeah,
has.
Cap.
That's
Yeah,
the
Cap.
irony
Cap,
of this.
Cap,
But
Cap.
yeah, he's right. But I think India Love is just the reason why I think it's so interesting to see what she's doing now is because it's harder than what she was doing before. The reason Ruby Rose doesn't want to rap is not because she sucks at rapping, it's because it's work. You got to go do these shows, you got to go from city to city, you got to go to these studio sessions, you got to have a lawyer, you got to handle like clearances, you got to promote records, you got to record records, you got to perform records, you got to deal with all of the backlash and comments and feedback that people have of your music to do what? To make significantly less money than she does just posting photos. So India Love is actually choosing to do something more difficult than what she was doing prior. Now, did that OF money dry up? I don't know. That's the thing. A lot of these chicks fall off. Like, the money doesn't hit like it used to, and then they decide to pivot to something. But streaming is one of the hardest things. So the fact that she's streaming and entertaining and having a talk, I don't think that's something Ruby Rose could do. I don't think people would sit there and watch Ruby Rose. And India Love is somebody that's able to sustain a viewership. It's not like, oh, the clips that are going viral are, of course, her dancing with DDG and the storyline between her and DDG. Man, if she ever pops, this is also another problem. They cross-pollinated fan bases. So if she pops out with some other dude, that fan base is going to turn up. And the streaming fan base is not really like the YouTube fan base. But I think here, one of the funniest things was him asking her about the music. But I wonder what these meetings are. Like, is it meetings for reality shows? Because we've got other people on reality shows.
No.
And I think she will be the first second generation, not it girl. I don't want to say thought because that's a little bit too disrespectful. I would say like second generation. She's innovating. Like, for example, DDG, he was the vlog generation, and then he pivoted, and now he pivoted to rapper, and then he pivoted to streamer. So he's managed to capture this new generation of audience that's growing up. I think India Love might be one of the first to do that as a chick that people thirst over. Like, for example, Black China, she had her era. It was cooked. It was done. New young blood, if you want to call it that. They're not looking at Black China like, yo, Black China. They're not looking at Amber Rose like, yo, Amber Rose. They're looking at Ruby Rose and whatever these other chicks are. But with India Love, a lot of these young bucks are looking at it like, yo, India Love. And they were doing the same thing 10 years ago. So this might be the first like second generation superstar in this that we've seen. Unless there's another one you could name that isn't doing explicit content like getting smashed on camera. That's completely different. But let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. Like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. And I'm gonna see y'all in the next.
All right, well, that was that video. It's gonna be kind of hard to wipe that stuff away. I'm gonna be honest, but I don't even know if they're really dating anymore. I've been seeing a bunch of different titled videos saying that they're dating, saying that they're not dating, so I don't know. But anyways, guys, that was just this quick little video. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.